Welcome to Simply Living Live, Simple Living Live stream, whatever. I can't even remember the title this morning. And I was thinking as I'm pushing the button to start this, I didn't look in the mirror. And now when I see my own face, I'm seeing the raccoon eyes of like allergy or tired or something. Anyway, welcome. Here we are. Miss Wendy, come. You wanna say hi to the people on the phone? It's Sunday. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Look when you get a chance, watch the short that we did. Because this morning, Miss Wendy had breakfast with her new kitty friends. And I realized that she's trying to treat them the way she would treat puppies, like a mother dog, trying to move them with her nose, like that, right? And even though she uses her mouth sometimes, she is being soft. But because she's so muscular, she runs and she's very muscular and all. I'm still supervising when they're together because it would be so easy for an accident to happen. She's Miss Wendy killing many more mice and things. Like nearly every day, I'm finding bodies, not only in the buckets, but from her doing her job. So, good morning, everybody. Let me come around and actually say the good mornings. And I did probably it's cold already. But I did make a new coffee because it's been a kind of busy morning. And about the time I normally make sure that I have an announcement out on Facebook, Alex came. And so I needed to talk to him. Hasn't been here since my son was here, and he wasn't working. He was doing the transportation thing for my son, and that's the last time I saw him. So it took me a couple minutes to get pulled together. So icky lukewarm coffee, but whatever. Mm. And I accidentally dropped the cup on the stone outside. But at least it's enamel, and that's on the outside, not on the inside. And I'm not worried about it at all. But you know, I've broken I don't know how many mason jars. Sometimes my grip in my left hand is not the same. I have a grip exerciser like drummers use. I have one of those and I keep playing with it. Okay, let me get back on to all the hellos. I see lots of people. Guys, when you're coming on this morning, if you've got questions or subject you'd like me to talk about with my, 65 years of experience in life and living different forms of off-grid, permy, um, world travel, nomadic, wolf farm, uh, organic gardening, all that kind of stuff. You want me to talk about any of those subjects? Just please put 3 uppercase Q's so I can see that you have a subject or a question, and that helps me when you all's comments are scrolling by. I can tell what to focus on, and then I can try to talk about it. Also, there are super chats and super thanks, and I appreciate when you guys donate that way as well. And it really does help. I also have it's not reactions. I keep forgetting the term. Uh, where you could put the little hearts and stuff that scroll up across the screen. So those are not reactions. Anyway, I activated that so you can do that. Um, that's a good idea, Beth, to put some clear nail polish on it. Although, and I might do it. Depends on how I want my dishes to look, right? I picked 2 of these up when I was in Baja last year, and I only paid $2.50 a piece for them. Now, here in the States, these are Cinsa brand, And on Amazon, you can only buy them as a set of 6, but they're nice big mugs. So whatever. All right. Let me go back. And so have I given you all the housekeeping? In the descriptions below my live streams, as well as my other, as well, Wendy's playing on the floor with her toys. She has figured out how to play in the last couple of weeks with her own toys. So when I'm busy, she'll get her toys and she'll play. What? Alex is outside working in the road. Do you want to go outside? You want to go out? You want to go in the front? Um, yes, I talk to my dog. It's like my child. Miss Wendy. You want to go outside? Come on. Which door? Make it quick. People are waiting for Mama to talk. Come on. Come on. You want to go outside? Go help Alex. You be careful. Okay. So Wendy will go out and she stays a certain distance away from people, but she'll go out and kind of watch around Alex and hunt for mice and rodents and whatever else. Let me turn this chair this way today. Wow. I look almost too relaxed. That way. Oh, I could too. No, I can't do that. I was gonna say I change the angle a little bit because I found a tripod. Woohoo! It was packed away in a box. I could not imagine why I put it packed away in a box, but anyways, I found it. So, okay. So, did I do all the housekeeping? In the description below the all of my stuff, all my videos and everything, I believe it's all the same. There should be a link to my Amazon wish list. This is my birthday month. I appreciate when you guys send me stuff, but I don't keep birthdays myself. So that's totally up to you. I also don't keep Christmas, but I appreciate when you guys help me out because I am low income. I maneuver on now $1,100 a month in Social Security disability benefits. That will change early next year. I will finally become retirement age and they will switch it from disabled to retirement in January next year. I just got that confirmed. Okay. Moving right along. So in those descriptions, there's a link to my Amazon wish list, my Amazon store, because I have an influencer store. I have links to my affiliate for Danger Coffee, which is very good coffee, but I can't afford to drink that coffee every single day. So I think that I did get the affiliate link because I appreciate what Dave Asprey's doing, and I wish I could afford his coffee all the time. I lived in Costa Rica a number of years. I roasted my own coffee in a fry pan, smushed it up with a couple of rocks. I know I'm okay with Folgers. It's cheap. Full coffee that is in the style of New Orleans. And I don't remember the exact brands, but I appreciate when people send me interesting to try. Maybe mold was an issue. I've had a recent test and it isn't. So, okay. So Danger Coffee, I have the affiliate for, is in those links. I can't remember what else is in the links besides things like I do have Instagram, changing the name of the Facebook group because a lot of stuff has changed in the online world in the last few months. And because of that, I've been thinking about how what I talk about is my life experience. And because I have all of that, I'm able to encourage and help other people, which does make me feel good as a human being. But what I would love to do is not only help you, but encourage you to like see those bad, ugly things as maybe start to see those as opportunities to adjust your perspective and maybe see them as adventures was worthwhile. And if you're going through something that's super hard, there were a lot of super hard times in my life when nobody, because I couldn't trust people. And I can, in a virtual way, fix you. I can share the things that have helped me. Okay. All that kind of being said, let's see. Where am I heading? Buffering. Okay. My bars of signal. I'm sorry about buffering. I've been gone from the channel for a long time. Most of you are aware that the signal comes and goes because of my income and budget. I cannot afford things like Starlink. One of the company internet service, but I thought it was a good thing to do, so I chose to turn it down. Yes, I'm adjusting some things to see if I can help. If the phone is a little closer to the window I'm near, let me turn it around. You can see my hammocks flapping in the breeze out there. We have a nice kind of breeze today. There you go. That's what I'm seeing behind the phone. All right, let me turn it back. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that, Beth. I know you're not complaining. I know you're a helpful person. That's not even I'm not taking it that way at all. So let's see. Okay. We've had a heat wave. I don't even have notes today. Sometimes I have notes prepared. I have got to remember this for myself. I need some more rechargeable batteries for some of my solar lights in the yard. The lights are still good. So even though they're plastic and they're getting faded, I'd rather replace the batteries and buy new lights sometimes. And when I bought the new batteries the last time, I bought double A's, not triple A's. So I need to get some triple A rechargeable batteries. Okay. Now to kind of focus, I saw Wendy run by again outside, but she's fine. Alex is working on the continued project of fixing up my driveway and my portion of the road in front of my cabin. So he's trying to help with that. The FedEx guy did find me this week twice. That was an interesting thing. Now, I can mention this, but I can't say much. But watch for an unboxing gear video on something that has been shipped to me by a follower. It is not technically for me to own, but I get use of it until the person is ready to have it for themselves. Basically, it's on loan to me for an undetermined amount of time. And the last I heard, that undetermined amount of time will at least be 9 months. So it'll be helpful in the meantime. You watch for that because that's coming up really soon. I'm waiting for the third part of the package to come, and then I'll get that video ready and put that out. I did do a short this morning with the pets having breakfast together for the first time. I don't know. Okay. So that's being worked on. That's being done. I wanted to talk to y'all this morning and mention about, well, there's 2 or 3 things. Which things should I talk about first? Should I talk about the business side of SimplyLesa first? Or should I talk about how to survive a heat wave with very little power? Because I've been having a heat wave situation here. And it does change some of the things I do in my simple living situation. So I think let's talk about business first and then get into the heat wave kind of stuff, because I already was talking about Danger Coffee and the fact that I got my affiliate for that. So um, I have asked a couple of companies that I'm aware of for help. So I was already aware that when my SSDI disability changes from disability to retirement age, uh, I was already aware that at that point I could change from only being able to earn about $800 a year to being able to earn an unlimited amount of money, more or less, um, per month. So I double checked everything and I was correct. But rather than waiting until my birthday month of June next year, according to Social Security, I talked to them myself, it starts in January next year. So it's going to happen a few months earlier than I thought it was. Because of that, and because of another thing I chose not to do to be careful, um, I actually could start earlier because I never used my trial work months on SSDI. Now, the only thing with trial work months is if you activate the clock so that it starts to tick down the 9 months, then every month on the 10th, you have to report how much money you've made. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be on a schedule that I have to tell somebody exactly what I'm doing at all. I don't want to explain it. I like my freedom too much. So, what I'm doing instead of earning a lot more money right now is I'm choosing to start setting up not only affiliate links, but I'm asking for sponsorship. Like, here's an example. I contacted, a lot of you know that for years and years, I have been wearing barefoot shoes. Okay. And these kind of look like clown shoes. They have like toes on them, but they're a wide toe box. They're very flat. Um, but you could feel the ground really well. And as a person with MS, which I didn't understand this until I got a diagnosis, they really help you with your stability because you can feel what's underneath the shoes. But having a Vibram sole, these they're shoes, they're dirty, people. I have a life and I only have one pair of shoes because I can't afford, haven't been able to afford up to this point to have many pairs of shoes. Anyway, so these were Vibram soles, and because I couldn't afford the fancier, more expensive, look more like regular shoes, those brands I really couldn't afford. So I hunted hard to find this inexpensive barefoot shoe. And I'm not sure how many years, but at least 5, maybe 7 years, I've been wearing barefoot shoes or walking barefoot, some in Costa Rica, or wearing just very thin leather thong flip flops. And so for a number of years. And when I hiked on the Appalachian Trail, I hiked in sandals with wool socks. So these are Jumras off Amazon. They're around the $35, $40. They're becoming more popular because they're trail runners. Okay. But I hunted for years to find inexpensive ones. And this is what I landed on. And for years I've had these. I don't remember. I had gray ones. I've had bright blue ones. These are pink and gray camo. I don't even remember, but I've had a lot of different, like a pair a year. I've been the whole time, I've been watching Vibram Five Finger Shoes. I've been watching Zero Shoes, XERO. I've been watching VVO Barefoot, Lems Boots. Lems are cool. They make those in Colorado. And they have leather, like work boot style hiking boots. I really like their boots. But I don't have $120 or $150 a year for a pair of boots. I contacted not this company. As much as I love them, I didn't contact them. I contacted Zero Shoes, XERO, sent them a nice email. Let's see if I can do this. I've been practicing on something. I didn't do it. Oh, it won't do it. Never mind. Okay, it won't do it. We're just going to forget that I tried that. So I contacted Zero Shoes and said, guys, I have this thing I'm aiming for, and you're part of it because I've wanted a pair of your DIY sandals. I've wanted a pair of your hiking sandals, a pair of shoes I could travel in that look a little nicer, a pair of boots. And y'all have rubber boots that are barefoot boots, and with the monsoons, that would be great. Sent him an email. Oh my God. And then, okay, with more detail. But anyways, and then I closed my eyes and went, I'm sending it, God. I got an answer back. Please, please apply to be a healthy foot hero or zero hero, something. Also apply to be for a professional, I forgot what it's called. Apply for this other pro thing. Both of these are different levels of discounts, as well as we would want you to talk about us and things like that. And we love where you're going with all of this. We only watched a couple of videos, but we'd love to help you. And I just went, what? So even if all they do is give me a discount, okay, it would make it so that I could afford one of the pro discounts, like $40. I mean, 40% off. That would make it so rather than having to buy these because it's the only option I can afford, I might be able to do some others. I think the fur child. No. Okay, let me see what the sound is behind. What's happening? Hey, leave it. If it's okay, be nice. Oh, be nice. They're okay, Wendy. Okay. We're having a little kitty Wendy moment. Wendy, come please. Wendy. I think they're okay. I'm gonna let them be. They're by the door, and right by the door on that side, there's a metal cabinet with legs, and the kittens can get under it. She wants to play with them. She's kind of teasing them and whatever. We'll assume it's safe until I hear bad noises. So in my description, that's what I was going to try to do, was put on the paragraph of the email I had written and share with you guys this picture I drew in one of the paragraphs, which was of, as we finish up with my vintage Chevy Tracker, because now it is vintage, that I'm starting to talk to some companies. And can't you see that as one of the companies involved, that you get to see me in my videos wearing your Zero shoes? And I would even be willing to have some kind of Zero shoes decal on the vehicle. And they loved that idea, so that's pretty cool. Um, but I so the plan is I want to talk to them. I want to talk to Rip Skirt Hawaii. I want to talk to, I think it's called Calypsa, Modest Swimwear. Now, whether it's Calypsa or a different um, Modest Swimwear thing, I want to check on that. I want to check on some merino wool clothes companies. Okay, she getting kind of loud. Wendy, I need you to stop barking. Please stop barking. Hey, stop. Don't be rough with her. Come here. Come to me. Don't be rough with her. She's fine. She's not hurting you. Let them be there. They're just watching. Let them be there. Just let them watch. Okay? You come inside and you watch from here. They'll come to the window. Watch. They'll come to the window and you can see them. I don't want you to accidentally hurt them. Okay? Okay. my my acts like a 2 or 3 year old toddler, right? But it's not. Hey everybody. So let's see. So I sent them the email. Okay, so Zero shoes, the Chevy Tracker, the hammock stand. Now I started hunting. There's some new hammock stands that attach to vehicles. So there's the front one that was Adventure Hammocks Systems that I went to the company up in the Pacific Northwest, and I think at Bend, Oregon. And he was going to give me a half price discount. He wouldn't sponsor me. And then when he saw the car, he said, "Oh no, this is horrible. This is going to, you're not going to help my product look good." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" So that's why when I did have one borrowed and stuck on the tracker, I did that little short and I sent it to them because I was like, "Oh yeah, you said it was going to look horrible on my vehicle. Take a look at this." Because why wouldn't you want the guys that are like Lifton and Overland and smart cars and Fiats and VWs? Why wouldn't you want them to look at vehicle-based hammock systems? I mean, I'm a hammock camper. Why wouldn't I want that? Anyway, so I kind of was like, here, my vehicle doesn't look good enough. Okay, fine, whatever. But whether I do them or not, now there's some guys who have made, I think Jeremy will correct me, I'm sure, but I think they're called rock sliders. They look like the steps you'd use to get in a vehicle, but they're made out of metal enough so that if you go over a big rock, rather than denting the body or the frame, they're strong enough steel that they slide over the rocks. That's what it's for. And it's similar to skid plates on the bottom that like protect your gas tank and stuff like that. Anyway, there's some guys out there that are making those rock slider things for the sides of the vehicle, and they're putting attachments for, I need a spray bottle. I need a spray bottle to keep the kittens off the screen. Anyway, the window screens. Anyway, so they're making those rock sliders and making it so a couple of posts fit into a slot on the rock sliders to hold your hammock on the side of the car. So now I have other options. So we'll see who wants to help me with that. But anyways, I still, because I'm a hammock camper, I still want to do the hammock thing. And so the picture I'm drawing here is the the little vintage Chevy Tracker, possibly with the iDome shelter, poles riding on the roof, with a hammock stand, and going back to Baja to camp on beaches, and some of the adventure, some of the four-wheel drive adventure trips, like up near Flagstaff, there's the top of the world, that you do need four-wheel drive to get to, but that looks down on Sedona. That is so sweet, cool. And all of these, trails to go and camp and go back to Zuki Palooza and stuff like that. But so I'm starting to talk to these specific companies. So like Zero Shoes, Rip Skirts, the Calypso swimsuits, the uh, hammock people about hammock stands. Um, there's a couple of hammock companies I wouldn't mind, a good quality replacement ultralight hammock. Some of the ultralight uh, backpacking companies, because I need a new air mattress. I would like to upgrade my sleeping bags to another ultralight quilt. I'm a side sleeper. I prefer the quilts. So there's some of those things. And then, of course, there's things like Stan's Auto. I want to be able to have a decal for him and for Mike to put on the car and advertise a little bit that they help me out. And so those are the kind of things that are starting to happen while I'm in this period up until January when I can actually make money. And then hopefully by that time, I keep forgetting the Cascadia 4x4 solar system for the vehicle. Love it. They sent me my replacement. I haven't decided how I'm making that all look, because I want it to look neat, but I don't know if the best thing is to um, bedliner paint the hood black so that it has a more elongated look on it. I liked the original black and white of my tracker, so I'm not quite sure on that. The other option I've got is to mount it right on the front removable roof. And I might do both because the old one's still pumping juice, but we'll see about that. The old one has a spot on it that is damaged, and it just started to delaminate, and it's still pumping juice and it still works. And so I don't know the answer as to what I'm going to do with that one yet. Uh, if I have if I have a reason, here, come here. If I have a reason to pass it along, I would. But at the moment, I also need more help from. I'm going to be asking solar and battery companies. I'm going to be asking them for sponsorship as well to help me have a good system that is all put together before I get to go on a trip. Um, I love my little Alpacool refrigerator, but if I need to upgrade to a little bigger one, I don't know the answer. I'm just saying these things are possible. Now, I could segue straight into from the solar that I'm running and the Alpacool refrigerator into the heat wave stuff because it's been being affected pretty badly. Um, but let me hold off a second, make sure I finished all this other. You wait and watch. Just relax, mama busy, and I want to be out there with you. I want to make sure they're safe. Don't be talking to me like that. What do you think this is? So, okay. I need to check what y'all are saying at the same time. So let's see. Uh, I've been feeling better. Um, my TMI, plug your ears if you don't want to hear it. My bathroom habits are much better lately. There's something about me switching from being strict carnivore to animal based. And on my animal based, I'm trying to keep the carbs that I have are either light fruits, like I did well with melon, um, and pears. I did good with pears, and I've done good with unsweetened applesauce. Even, I think there's a can right here. Even the unsweetened canned applesauce that came from the food bank, I've been okay with it. So that's kind of a nice treat thing. Um, I also, but I'm trying to stay with resistant starches or fruit. So I was able to get green plantains when I went to Walmart for shopping the last time. I've been having ground turkey with green plantain for breakfast. It's the bomb. When I ran when I ran out of green plantains, I had cauliflower. And so that's working too. The food bank had these little butternut squashes. That's next. So tomorrow, that's what I'll. Yeah, tomorrow that's what I'll be having. Because this morning when I cooked, made my coffee and cooked, I cooked all the food for today. So for today, there's more ground turkey and cauliflower. And okay, so I did have to run out and get ice, and I got a block of ice as well as a bag of ice, and put in my moose jaw cooler, the roto molded cooler. Um, oh, and I added some ice cubes to my uh, drink jug. I have that Ozark Trails 64 ounce um, double wall stainless. It's a drink jug, but it keeps ice like nobody's business. That's been one of the best things I've purchased. So that's full of ice cubes, so I can make an iced coffee in the afternoon. Now today, technically, I'll have be drinking way too much coffee, but I often only have one big mug of coffee in the morning, and today I'm having two. And then usually about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll make an iced coffee. So sometimes I'm trying to keep it to two and not, more, but depends. So that's kind of on a health note. Oh, and with the food bank stuff, they gave me a lot of fruit, okay? But some of the fruit was starting to turn, and I have to pick this up carefully because my screw lids are not the right size. And this is a paper coffee filter. This is the pineapple they gave me from the food bank with a few raisins in it. I need to put a teaspoon or two of raw honey in it. But I didn't have any when I made it. I'm making vinegar for a friend, a neighbor. Well, it doesn't matter. I make vinegar. Vinegar's easy to make. And it doesn't need a refrigerator. I just have to watch it when it's hot until it finishes doing its thing. So I'm making some of those things. So let's see. So that's the basic stuff there. I'm annoyed with my outdoor cooking right now. Part of that's because it has gotten so hot and so hot that there's fire bans, and I can't use propane. And so I have some limits as to what I can do. And alcohol at certain temperatures can act funny. Sterno, when it's really hot out, Sterno, if you try to put the lid on a can of Sterno to put the flame out, it's not the way to put the flame out. Okay, if it's really hot outdoors and you've been burning it, that you need to put something flat over it to put the flame out. Because if you try to use the lid, if it's hot enough, it'll explode the lid off like, and as it does, it spits that jellied alcohol all over things, including you and your clothes. And sometimes it's still on fire when it does it. I've had it happen. It's a little scary. So I've learned, always use something flat. Use your cup, the bottom of your cup, before I'd ever use the lid when it's hot out. So there's some of those things you got to kind of be careful with in the heat. And so when this change of temperatures happens and I'm here at the cabin, the wind's been blowing. It's so hot you can hardly, function. This isn't impossible, don't get me wrong. But there's a fire ban, and yes, there are some limits, but you read the fire ban things carefully. I have a way that I do some things. You can still cook with charcoal, but you've got to be in certain circumstances. They're telling people, even at their own homes, that they need to smoke their cigarettes inside their cars or inside a building and not outdoors. That's the severity of the fire ban stuff. So if a fire got away from you, you're the one that's going to get blamed. And me using outdoor fires, I am extra careful when it's really hot out. So I have a couple of things that work well, but the plan's always been that I have some kind of wood stove with a chimney on the back patio that allows me to cook in all weather, even with wind, because alcohol, you've got to protect it from the wind. And then when the wind's up, then the sand's blowing around. It's a whole thing. So, been discussing it with my son since he's been here. I have a couple of plans, a couple of things I want to do, but I'm not sure when and how they happen. I don't know where to find what I think was called a plancha, but I'm not sure. What I'm hunting for is the flat steel part of the wood stoves that they have in Costa Rica on the back patio. And so it's a masonry stove with a stovepipe or a chimney. But the top of it that you put your pots on to cook has eyes on it that can come off just like a regular wood stove. But it's a piece of steel that's flat and has these. I don't know where to get it. Maybe I can get it in Baja or somewhere, but I don't know what it's called. I'm struggling with trying to find that part. Once I find one of those, we can build me a wood stove thing on the back patio. Anyway, so now heat wave stuff. It's been so hot here. I had never seen 100 degrees at my property before. It hit 99. It might have hit 100 because I'm not sitting here watching the thermometer all day long. So it might have actually hit 100. It was so hot that my cell phone had trouble charging on the battery packs. Probably because the phone kept getting hot and having to shut itself off. It was so hot that the fridge freezer that I run, the little Alpacool, was running so much during the day that the solar panels couldn't keep the battery pack, the Rock Pals battery pack that's 300 watts. It could not keep it full and run the refrigerator in freezer mode. So I would run the refrigerator in freezer mode from about 11 to about 3:30 in the day and let it run all it wanted to run. But before 11 and after like 3:30, I was letting the sun pump juice into the battery pack as much as possible. So um, that's how I've been managing it, is like turning the freezer off sometimes, not running it at night, checking the temperature of the food, keeping it so frozen, the food so frozen that, and adding freezer packs like for lunch boxes so that there's more stuff in there and things are still frozen. And so every day checking what's starting to thaw, that's what we're going to eat today. That's the way I've been managing that. And then, like I said, I got a block of ice and stuff in case I wanted to or needed to put the stuff over into the cooler. I haven't needed to, so I put some extra water bottles in there, and that's all I've done. I probably could have skipped buying that ice, but I didn't want to be, I didn't want to have the food spoil, so I was being careful. So that's that. Now I need to go back and read y'all's stuff. Um, I was able to get a number of things taken care of here at home. Like I was able to get the clothesline or temporary clothesline back up so that I was able to wash clothes, all of those little everyday things. I was able to wash my hair and take a shower. Um, I'm going to have to bring the jug that my son fixed for me in. And when I'm at the shop, ask somebody like Jeremy or somebody to just loosen the lid. My son's so strong, I can't undo that lid at all. So I'll get somebody to do that for me. Um, I don't know what else right now. Okay, I'm going to go back and say hi to y'all and check what you want me to talk about. Wendy's been managing the heat just fine. She figured out that the stone on the front porch is the coolest place. And so sometimes when it's really hot, she'll ask to go out. She just flops on the stone on the front porch. We have taken siestas a couple of days in the afternoon because it was just too hot to do anything but take a nap. Um, my little rechargeable fan from Walmart that I think I paid $7 for. It works. I keep using it. Just keep recharging it. It has three settings on it, but I just keep recharging it and using it. I have slept with it on all night, a couple of nights. That's something that I use in the tracker as well. Um, we were able, before my son left, we were able to put one piece of Harbor Freight shade tarp on the wall, but it hangs down to the ground on over those two windows because in the afternoon that's the hottest sun. I also attached a triangular shade tarp somebody was throwing away that was still had a lot of good life in it. I attached that on the outside of the patio out here. I had the tail of it up to a tree, not good in the wind, so I put it down to the ground with cement block and stone. That's been fine, except I didn't get the corners up tight enough, so I need to add some stuff to that. But that means I got to climb on a ladder, and the day I was doing it, I wasn't in a mood. All right, let me go back because I see Mary. Let me go all the way back up to the beginning because I've seen some names and okay. I think I have, yeah, I have live chat up, so I'm supposed to see everything. So, and I see some uppercase Q's to focus on. So who's that? Beth, Tiny, George and Tammy, hi. Catherine, hey. I hope you're staying cool. I hope you're doing well. I didn't get to call you back the other day. Um, Catherine, I didn't put a time on today's. I just set it up and then hit the button when it was the right time. Um, so Beth, who's this? Oh, Iris. Good morning, Iris. What was this? Okay, I saw that one. The husband doesn't always listen. You got to talk to the dogs. There you go. Um, not as pixelated. Oh, good. I hope so. That's why I moved the phone over here. I think it's a little more stable signal closer to this window. So Mary, it's so much cooler today. Yeah. Wow. And that's why when Alex called me and said, I'm a little slow this morning, I was like, enjoy how cool it is. Don't worry about it. And it's supposed to be cloudy for a few days. So I know, Beth, an unboxing, that's going to be fun. Business first, survival last. Hey, that's the way I picked it too. Do these shoes keep cactus needles from coming through the sole to your foot? In my humble opinion, I've been in Arizona a few years now. What? Mommy talking to the phone again. I know. Your eye's dirty. Let me see your dirty eye. Oh, get that out of there so it won't bother you. I know. It's yucky. So, in my humble opinion, yes. So Vibram soles are really good. Now you got to figure these shoes are about a year and a half old. Okay, so they're wearing, but you'll know when you can start to feel little things poking at you that you need to order a new pair. Okay, but they're Vibram soles, so they're really good soles and they're grippy. Everybody knows who you are by the pattern of the footprint. But yes, in my humble opinion, it does help with cactus. Don't be stepping on a cactus because it'll go through a lot of stuff. But it's a little more than like cheap flip flops. Okay. And the fact that they kind of go a little bit up the side, a little bit up the side, and there's the breathable fabric here. If you get close to a cactus with your foot, you know how if you've got flip flops on, you get close to it. Sometimes you get those little tiny itty bitty ones on your skin. It prevents that. So even though I'd rather be barefoot or, okay, in Arizona, not so much barefoot. Sand gets freaking hot. But something to keep your foot from burning on the bottom, and I would prefer to have my feet as open as possible. But these help. And ask Catherine because she borrowed one of my old pair, and I was going to give them to her. I think I'm throwing them away. But anyway, but they were old, and she loved them so much she was ordering some. I don't know if she got them or not, but the fact that they're a wide toe box, so your toes will find their natural place to sit, which is wider. And but as far as the cactus, I think that having this fabric, and it's not plastic, this pair is actually like knit. And so they breathe well. They get wet if you like walk in water with them, which I have. Um, they get wet and it takes a while for them to dry out. It's not fun. They're not water shoes. People thought I was wearing water shoes. They're not water shoes. So they don't dry like that. But I think that they're better protection in the desert than flip flops for sure. So Oh, the price has gone up. I see that, Beth. They're $42 now. Yeah. Uh, but when I first started off, they were $35 or something, and I could have. That was hard for me because Walmart shoes are 10 or $15, right? And I was like, but you know what? I need to do this. I need to feel the ground. I can't stand that I can't feel the ground. And so it was a good move. So that was one step. Now the next step is to go to zero shoes. I'm trying to be able to get the first, as my first set, I want to get their DIY sandals, which are right around $25 for the pair. You make your own. They teach you how to make your own, and you get all the stuff to do it. And then I would like to have a pair of their trail sandals. I picked some out, but the color I want's not available. So, and they're closer to, I can't remember if they were $55 or if they were $70. I don't remember, but neither here nor there right now. But that's where I'm aiming. Plus the fact that for travel, these are ultra lightweight as well. So if you need to pack a pair of shoes in your bag to get on a plane to go somewhere, or in your vehicle because you're trying to keep the weight down so that you get the best gas mileage you can get, it's another benefit of. So we're going to be talking a whole lot more about zero shoes as I'm able to get and do that, because I think zero shoes, rip skirts. Of course, I'm always going to be into modest but bathing suits and whatever, because I'm not the smallest person and I'm getting older. And come on, okay, I used to be really fat, but my family has angel wings, and so I have angel wings, and I'm not dead yet. And I've tried to do things to get rid of this, and it hasn't worked. And I'm not willing to do the surgery because I know that once they cut on you, stuff happens. And I just am not willing. Plus, I had scheduled having some surgery. But the person that was going to assist me as I came out of the hospital had a stroke, and we thought she died. We thought she was dying. She didn't die, but she couldn't care for me, so it wasn't going to work. So, and then with COVID and everything else, I just didn't get scheduled again, and I don't know that I even want to anymore. I mean, yeah, there's the whole thing of, if I got in a relationship with somebody, how would I deal with the fact that I don't love that part of my body or this other thing? But there's only so much I'm willing to do, even for another person. Because it's so easy to get things like MRSA and crap. And I'm like, no. Anyway. Oh, Goop Dog. There you go. Hey, Jer. Beth, what was that? So. Your steel sideboards have saved your rig more than once. I bet, Mary, because I know you will take your rig in places other people won't. But you kind of think like me, drive like me. Well, you've lived in Alaska, so it's probably that kind of off-grid thought pattern that comes with people who live in places like that. I don't know a better way to say what I'm thinking. So, oh, hey, Donna. Oh, thank you, Beth, for putting out zero shoe things. Yeah. Oh, I know. It is wonderful. Thank you, Mary. Mary's saying it's wonderful your food choices have expanded. Yeah, you think? I mean, I got to pay attention a little bit, but yeah, sometimes it's just so tiring to be the odd person who can't. I can't this and I can't that. It gets so freaking old. And when my son was here, I did go out with him a couple of times. He stopped to get a hamburger one time. I ate sweet potato fries. I was okay with it. I didn't like the oil they were cooked in, but that's me, right? Um, I could have eaten a hamburger, but I wasn't that hungry. So I was like, well, I don't know what I want. So that's what I did that day. And the other time, oh, the other time we went up to Sanders and he had a calzone, which he thought was the bomb because he thought for the price it was going to be little tiny and it was huge and he couldn't even eat it all. And Wendy got a lot of that. But I had chicken wings and I was like, ooh, I didn't get sick on chicken wings. That was nice. So I had to get mild because I'm not used to spices anymore. But hey, G, good to see you. How do I reinforce grommets on loose weave shade cloth? Mine is delicate in wind gusts. Well, they are. So, I bought a grommet kit, which I hardly ever use. I have used it. I shouldn't say I hardly ever, but it's true. I try to protect my shade cloths to start with. So, heavy wind gust. I'm assuming, Mary, that you probably are putting yours on your vehicle, but you might be putting it on your property. At the property, like here at the cabin, I actually have fern strips from when we made the pergola on the back patio. And so fern strips are like 2 inches by 3 inches or something. I don't know. They're thin strips of wood. Um, and they're cheapish. They used to be like $1 a piece, and now they're like $2 or $3 a piece. But I use those and screw to something wooden, so that I'm not only using grommets to hang them. Now I am aware that other people in this area actually use the shade sail cam lock. It's actual wire, and there's a thing that tightens it in the middle, and you screw one side screws one way and the other side screws the other way, and it tightens that wire up. A lot of people use that here successfully, but I am using juniper trees as part of my posts, as well as either the cabin or 4x4 posts that are really old, like antique and grade, and they're not cemented in the ground. So I never went to doing the wire kind. I just do the wooden stuff. So that's how I do that. Um, Wind can make things very dangerous. That's true. Beth, thanks for being on your game. Um, Speaking of daughters, I'm just seeing that Iris is saying it was 113 in Naples, Florida at her daughter's. Cell phones were being affected by humidity. I imagine it was. So I have a comment about daughters. My daughter, so y'all know now that I have a son, and now I'm talking about the fact that I also have a daughter. My daughter's younger. We have not been super close. Um, I was being threatened, and it was not a pretty situation.
I ended up leaving when she was 9. No, when she was 8 and Josh was 9. It was like 2 weeks before Josh's 10th birthday when I left. Traumatic, not good for all of us. But the decision I made was based on, if the person that was abusing me so badly didn't kill me, I was ready to commit suicide. And I didn't want my children growing up with either a murder or a suicide in their family. So, God, please help me find a way to make a change. And then one day, I just knew to go and I left. Um, and it was beyond hard. My daughter contacted me. Would it have been on the 6th? I'm thinking the 6th was maybe Wednesday. She had had a visit from the police. Her, I thought he was an ex husband. He wasn't. They weren't divorced. Was in prison. He was a different individual and rather involved in illegal things. He passed away in prison on the 6th. And my daughter just called and said, I don't know. And I was like, I don't either. I don't know what to say. And first off, I thought you all were divorced. And okay. And so I imagine you feel numb. And she said, That's good. That's good, Mom. Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like. Numb. And I was, so we talked for a few minutes. We're not super close. But if you just put her in your prayers, because she's struggling through a lot of stuff. And you may see her sometimes on the Facebook page or my stuff. You may see her making comments. Just know that my ex husband, there was a lot of abuse, and she's felt very stuck. But yet her choices are involved as well. And I think that's a good place to just kind of leave it. Just if you pray for her. It was an awkward call. And I'm sure it's an awkward stage for her. I didn't even know what to say. I've never been around that kind of culture in my life. I've never had much interaction with authorities beyond high school. I I haven't needed to because I haven't been in those kinds of lifestyles. So that's the best I got. If you just think about that. Hi, Donna Kay. I used to love my Crocs. And still, as camp shoes, they're kind of nice, especially when it starts to be cold and you want to you want to wear socks to bed or something, and you want to get out and put socks into something that isn't going to get your socks dirty. Crocs are good for that, but they're big and bulky. And so, I've been looking for solutions too, but Crocs have a place. And when I lived in Central America, everybody owned a pair of flip flops, a pair of Crocs, and a pair of rubber boots. It's what you needed. Yeah, my angel wings. Yeah. Crinkle pleated. Okay. Okay. You know what I joke? Oh, I'm going to do it on the internet for the whole world. Oh my gosh. I'm going to do it. So I often joke, especially with little boys who like see my arms and want to play with them or something, which is really annoying. Parents, teach your kids not to touch people's arms and to ask questions instead of just teasing somebody. But, anyways, so I often tease that my muscles fell. Okay, I can't do it today. I have a way of mushing them. Anyways, your muscles fell. Okay, let me stop. I can't believe I just did that on out here for the whole world to see. On your vehicle. Ferns tips are a great solution for home. Yes. So on your vehicle, the way I often put up my shade tarps and get the ones that have a looser weave. They're not as dark as the other ones. Oh, and I found, hang on a second. I found right after we were talking last week. I got the Illuminate out. So this is my Illuminate tarp, okay? And it is a very loose weave. Let me get it manageable for the space between me and the phone, okay? Now I understand with everyday use in the desert that a couple of years and this can start to disintegrate and then be like little pieces of silver all over the desert. So you may want to watch as it ages to replace it before it looks like it needs it. Okay? So that you don't have, so you're not helping with all the, you're not littering the earth with a bunch of little silver pieces of junk. So I buy everything I can with good grommet strips that are made out of webbing. So most all of my stuff has this kind of webbing. I don't buy anything that's just folded over a tarp with a grommet because it won't last. But you see, can you see how loose what's something colored I can put? Oh, wait, no, this might work. It's little, but can you see the red through it? Can you see the red through? I can see the red through. And I'm looking at the phone and my face. So if you could see that, it's a loose weave. So the wind goes through this. But because it's silver, wow, it's almost 90% blockage of the heat. It's wonderful. I picked this up. I'm pretty sure it's in my Amazon store. I picked this up when it was like $35 or $40. Okay. Some of them are $100. I think I saw the label, but I'm pretty sure the label's faded. Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay. So it was stoneshadetarp.com is the brand. I'm thinking it's an 8x10 size that I have, but I can't be sure. And let's see, if I was to, let's do this. I think it's an 8x10 size. Okay, so that would be about 8 feet because it's not, well, no, that's about 3 feet. So that's about 6. So maybe it's a 6x8 instead of an 8x10. Okay, here's what I do, Mary. On my vehicles,
I often use the suction clamps made for window installers. You squeeze them on a piece of windshield or glass to move glass around. I clean a place on the roof and I suction those on. That does so that won't mess up your vehicle. And then I use bungee balls. Oh shoot. You know what bungee balls are, people? Because I'm not sure I have a bungee ball in the house right now. In the cabin. Let's see. Do I have a bungee ball in the cabin? I'm almost done with the piles on the floor, guys. Oh, I have big bungee balls, but I don't see a little one. Okay. I'll tell you what this one's for, because this is not a normal bungee ball, okay? But you've seen bungee balls, okay? They're usually about that long. You can get them 5 inches, 6 inches, 10 inches, or maybe it's 9 inches, and they're real useful. Okay, this one's really long. This is made for a sleeping bag, and you get a set of 2 when you buy these from Coghlan's, I think it is, and they're made for putting around your sleeping bags. They are so useful for tarps, tents, because they're bigger, longer. Miss Wendy, I need you not to bark. Hey, Miss Wendy, I need you to know, just watch. Don't hurt the kitty. Leave the kitty alone. Leave the kitty alone. Watch. All right, let's see. Hey, she doesn't want to play right now. Be careful with her. Wendy's doing that whole, I don't know what it's called when a dog puts its paws down and does that I want to play thing. I don't know what that's called. That's what she's doing, bowing down to the cat, trying to get the cat to play with it. Cat. These are kittens. Now, the mother abandoned these 2. They're small still. They're very small cats. It's all right. They're getting bigger. So the other thing that helps Mary, bungee balls are your friends. Attach them to something because they're elastic. They have the give. It won't pull things off. The bungee balls will snap before it pulls like a roof rack off of your vehicle. So it's a kind of built-in safety factor thing as well. And the grommets won't die before the bungee ball will give first before the grommets. So I think that combination is what has saved me. And often I'm using the bungee balls on the tent stakes that are staking out the shade cloth, however I've got it configured as well. I hope that's helpful. I think for wind, your biggest help with the wind is to make sure you've got a loose weave shade cloth. You guys wouldn't have seen when I had Nantucket, I actually bought a white military grade what was that stuff called? Camo tarp. What were they called? Camo tarp. So I can't remember I can't remember if there's a different term, but basically what it was a sheet of ripstop nylon stuff that was cut with a CNC style machine so that it had these little curvy shapes.
and then it was stitched. Maybe it was stitched first, I don't know, but stitched onto netting, camo netting. That's what it's called, I think. Anyways, and it, I just saw something that's so cute. Wendy went and got a stick and took it to the kitten. She's so trying to play with those kittens. Anyway, so it's cut with these. So there's holes in the camo netting. And so enough wind goes through the holes. So I had bought a white one. They sold them to the military for making camp in the snow, is the reason they had the white. And they have blue digital camo print that was made for people who are on the water, and a gray and white digital camo print that I forgot what that was for. Then there's like desert tan, and then there's the different tree patterns. Okay, so if you look into this, anyways, it's cut so that it flutters in the wind. And so it's more like being under the leaves of a tree. So it's not 24/7 flat shade. But I loved the heck out of that shade tarp. It started, the edges started to fray. I don't remember what happened to it right now, but I used it over the top of tents. I used it as an awning off the side of the van. I covered the top of the van with it and let it hang down. Sometimes I would attach it on the roof rail way over on the like driver's side, and then let it be across the top of the van, a few inches off the van, and then out to tall poles with, to tall awning poles. That worked really well because it would keep the roof cooler, and you could see the little movement of the air would help you feel cooler too. That thing held up. Look at those, Mary, because it really held up so freaking well. And I got white because I understand that black holds heat. And a lot of people go for the black. And I'm like, why aren't these things coming in white when white repels the heat? So I don't understand either. But I have threatened to get green ones that match the colors of my trees and put it over the top of big spaces out here. I would look at that. So it's probably called camo netting. One by twos, that's right. That's absolutely right, Beth. Very, very good description. It's so much cooler today, I gotta tell you that. Yes, Mary, my whole thing was I wish for my children to not have to go through what I went through, and to not have to go through the stories that I heard my parents went through. And so I do think that I made a change. Might not have been the change I imagined, and maybe it is, but who knows? Croc sandals, I never could get used to the shape of them. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of people in the world, speaking of shoes and sandals, a lot of people in the world, I'll use a shoe instead of my foot, okay? But a lot of people in the world, they just like one band across. I cannot stand only one band across my foot. It feels like I'm going to slide through, or I don't even know what. I love the tongue thing between my toe, or the one circle thing that you put your big toe in. Love those. has something to do with being able to, like, I don't know what, but that's what I like anyway. Thank you, Iris. Did I see a Connie? Hi, Connie. Oh, Beth, you're on your game. Thank you so much. I'm gonna have to. I need to be careful with this. I can't afford to pay you. I'm gonna have to find a way to start paying you. Uh, yes. Plus is that they're easier to fold if you let the wind help you fold tarp things up. That's true. Cool. Ooh. Oh yeah, don't forget to take things off the van if you put them on. Now, once upon a time on Vantucket, before I found the glass suction cup things, I bought this 96-pound magnet at Ace Hardware. It's big like this, has a hole in the middle of it. I put an eye hook and a lock washer, a lock nut on the bottom, and made sure that the bottom stuff was up enough so it wouldn't scratch the paint on the van. And I mounted that because my roof rack was only the back end of the van. I mounted it's magnet. My van was steel. So I just put it up near the passenger front, and it stayed there for years. And it's what I would put the bungee balls on to keep the tarp up further in the front. Downward dog pose. There you go. Oh, that time that somebody tried to install a Harbor Freight solar system on my van, and they attached it to the roof rack with zip ties. Every time I went down the road, I was like, somebody behind me is going to get hit with solar panels. That was so freaking scary that I finally donated them to Salvation Mountain in Slab City, because I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm so scared that I'm taking out somebody's windshield. Hey, you. Mommy's still on the video. Do you want to see the peepoos? No. Okay. Oh no, Iris. The windshield wiper story. Oh, I finally successfully put my own windshield wipers on. And I found a deal. Now, that deal I did not put in my Amazon store, so I would have to go hunt for this one. I found a deal on Amazon because here in Arizona, windshield wipers just keep getting destroyed. I mean, sand gets in them. And so every time you turn around, you're changing them a lot, right? It feels like I'm buying windshield wipers every year. Well, if I'm buying them every year, I'm not paying $40 for windshield wipers. I found them for $6. That's what I put on this blue car. It's like, yes. There you go. Oh, Mary, I'm so glad I'm so glad you knew what I was talking about. Mary, I know that I used the same white one. When I bought it, I had to pay a lot of money for it because I wanted white and I needed a certain size. So those two things were the factors in why it was more expensive. But I think I had that for maybe 4 years before it started fraying. And it was the fabric fray that made me think about getting rid of it. And I didn't get rid of it until I started having pieces fall off. So now I have water on the floor because I need to, somewhere outside where I've been sorting things, there's a little spray bottle out there. I need to get it. I know it used to have Simple Green in it. I need to put water in it so I could spray the cats when they try to get on the window screens, because it just happened again. And I'm trying to pour water in my hand and throw it at them. So you guys are watching me do that. I mean, this is like visiting with your friend, your neighbor. I don't know. So I know. I really thought about. See, I want to screen in the back patio and have a wood stove out there that I can use 24/7. Right? I mean, for cooking on all year round. But screening it in is gonna be a project, and other things come first. And now with the extra solar panels up on the roof, which is really helpful because they span some of the gaps, so there's much more solid shade. It's not perfectly solid shade, but before we did all of that, I was threatening to get a big enough green camo net to just go over the whole square of that room. Now, gotta think about it, but it would have been cool. Yeah, Iris, I'm so glad. And Iris, how cool to see your pictures of the beach in California, because I never did that. And I've never been to Washington State. Didn't go. Be on the road. There you are. Beth, you're on your game, and I appreciate you. And I keep telling you, I mean, I texted you this week. I keep thinking about calling you and talking to you about some stuff, but it's like, I got to do some stuff first on my own. But nice. Atlantic, Gulf, and Pacific. Cool. I still want to drive the Pan American Highway, but I can't do that alone. I need a mechanic to drive with. I mean, I could do a lot, but if the car breaks down, I'm screwed. Look at what happened this past year, right? And that is not fun. I should have put ice in this coffee. How's the battery pack looking right now? Okay, I'm going to turn the refrigerator back on. I checked it earlier. Cooked today's food, so that's all cooked, and it was all the stuff that was starting to thaw too much. And so what happened? Okay, so it's 11. Time to check the battery pack. Now, G, I have not mentioned much. But at 11, I check to see if the battery pack is above 10%. It's been struggling the last few days to get above 45% charged. And it's not because of my solar panels. It's how much it can take in while it's running this. And I still can't find my freaking little, I have a dongle for the other battery pack that will accept the male plug to the 12 volt. I have gone through everything electronic while my son was here, still never found that little thing. And that was a piece of equipment that was worth hanging on to. Because if I had it, I could run the fridge for a little while off the other battery pack while this one was charging. It would like make a world of difference because the other one's only charging the fan and my phone. And so um, if I could find that thing, that would be helpful, but whatever. All right. We have, well, we're about an hour and a half, which is pretty nice. How are we doing? Do you guys have questions for me today? A personal mechanic in a Brinks truck. Yeah, that's there's something to that, isn't there? Yeah, I like the idea of a personal mechanic. What is it I used to say? I need a mechanic in my back pocket, right? Um, yeah, yeah, and one with some income in his back, in his background would be all right. Um, I'm not, I'm not saying anything. I'm just like teasing. Um, oh, that's nice, Iris, that you're doing that little thing. When we were in Baja, we all made little. Okay, mine was little because my tracker is so tiny. Okay, I'm looking because this stuff was here. Anyway, we all made beachscapes out of a seashell for the dash of our cars. I still have mine. Candy, if you're watching, I still have mine. It's not attached to the car anymore, but I have it. And so mine, we actually used super glue on this little tiny shell, and we super glued some sand and a couple of pieces of like beach stuff and some little tiny itty bitty shells around so that we all had a memory of our trip. And the other girls had like big seashells and big chunks of, whatever they found. And, but yeah. Let's find that guy, right, Iris? Yeah, Iris. And one that'd be willing to like go every time I want to go, right? Because how long can I stay in one place? Not very long. I need to go somewhere, even if it's just overnight camping every 3 months. I don't care because 3 months is a long time, but I need to at least just go camping overnight, at least. What was it somebody said one time? I went to the shop. They were like, "Lesa needs a road trip." I was like, yeah. Road trip. Mm. That's right. Between Catherine, Beth, and we do. We need 3 engines. For Chincoteague. Yeah. Cool. Oh, nice. Yeah, museum putty's a bomb. Oh, Kate, I didn't see you come in. Hi, Kate. Okay, I know I'm kind of just sitting back because I'm tired now. Oh, it's been so hot. I've been able to unwrap the hammock and use the hammock. Um, I've talked to a number of people about selling the blue car, and yet, Jeremy, I heard you very well. Jeremy saying don't sell it yet because the shop is so busy that they can't even work on my tracker yet. And as much as they want to put it up higher on the list, they can't yet because they just got too much work. So I'm trying to be patient with that.
But y'all know it's only a few more weeks and it'll be an entire year since my engine blew. June 29th last year, because it was my 65th birthday. And that's why I remember. Donna K. Oh yeah, that's not bad, Donna K. I could kind of do that from where I'm actually at in Apache County. It's not it's not that far for me to go to Springerville. So here's the deal. I'm about 45 minutes from Gallup, New Mexico. I'm about 45 minutes from, maybe a little more, from Sholo. I'm about 45 minutes from Snowflake Taylor. So all those areas have a Walmart. I'm also about 40 minutes from Springerville. Now, Springerville has a Safeway, Western Drug, a couple small fast food places, Java, what is that place called? Java something, Java Time, Java. It's a nice little privately owned um, coffee shop, antique store, junk shop thing. Um, Really cool, fun. The lady that owns it's cool. She had wanted a vintage pre-Airstream Argosy trailer, and she finally found one. I was trying to help her find one once upon a time. Anyway, uh, Junk and Java. That's what it's called, Junk and Java. Some nice little thrift stores. Um, a nice steakhouse where the hunters and the cowboys go. Um, but it has a Bashas' and a Safeway. And so I can go grocery shopping down there just as easy as I can go grocery shopping somewhere else. About 15 minutes outside of town are a couple of the nicest camping spots. And some of them are free, but there's also a campground across from another campground that are both on national park stuff. So you can use your national park pass if you're disabled or elderly, um, and it's only like $6 a night, and they'll let you split that with another person if you're in vehicles. So I have camped in my tracker beside somebody camping in their van in a developed campsite. Now, we're not talking the cement pad campground. We're talking it has a fire pit and a picnic table. And there's a bathroom, uh, a pit toilet up a little bit, and there's water and trash. And we both had cards. We were able to split the cost. So it was $3 a piece. So $6 for the site, but they let you split it, so it was $3 a piece per night. And when you stay at that one, you can go across the road to the developed one that's $40 a night or whatever it is, and has the cement pads and everything. You could go over there and use the shower for free because you rented the cheap site. So that's awfully nice. So I'm able to uh, sometimes. I haven't done it with the blue car because I don't know why, but I haven't done it with the blue car. But I can go shopping at Sholo and go to Walmart, and I can sleep at Walmart, and I can go to the rec center of the aquatic center for $4 and get a nice shower and make a day of it and spend the night. I've done that many times since I've lived here. But I also
there's a place in Snowflake where I can do almost the same. I just don't have a shower spot as Snowflake. But where I go out of Snowflake, it's 4-wheel drive. And I tried to go somewhere with somebody that was only in a 2-wheel drive. They took some risks I wouldn't have taken. And the next morning they were like, yeah, I don't want to do this road again. And I was like, okay, but I'm fine because I stuck mine in 4-wheel drive, right? And I'm tiny and everything else, which is one of the reasons why I love what I do with my vintage Chevy Tracker, because I can go wherever I want to go. Or I can go a lot of places that only ATVs could go, or side by sides. Anyways, so I have that choice there, so I can do the same thing, okay? But it's really only an hour away. I don't really even have to go that far. I've never been, but I think it's Moro, over in Rama in New Mexico, is only 45 minutes away as well. That's a developed campsite that's only 5 campsites and on water. And that's only like 45 minutes, an hour away from where I'm at, too. Um, and then, of course, Springerville, Greer, if you go that way, and there's mountain sheep. Is that the right term? Curly sheep. Anyway, um, right outside. I'm talking right outside. 15 minutes tops from Safeway in Springerville. You can see the sheep with their curly horns on the side of a hill. And then you drive maybe 5 minutes more and you're at this really nice national campsite for like $6. And you can go take a nice hot shower. You got to push the button a lot at that one. But you got to push the button, but it's nice. And then if you want to go fishing, which to me, that makes a good like weekend or few day trip, because then you're so close to all the stocked fishing lakes, you may as well go fishing. And I don't remember, but I think the fishing license for Arizona is like $40 for us. So that's kind of nice. And then if you go Gallup direction, well, it's too cityfied. So I don't camp that way. And then I'm trying to think where else. Well, we lost Winslow. Winslow's now only day use, but Winslow used to be good. So, but all of that is really nice. That I could just go grocery shopping and go spend the night, and I get my fix, right? So that's kind of nice. And I can eat beef hot links again, which is like sausage, and we could put them on a stick on the campfire. And I hadn't eaten them in a long, long time, but boy, those were good. And that, okay, beef hot links and that coffee coconut ice cream. I'm just saying, party on. And watermelon. There we go. Okay, we're party on, right? I've lost my mind. No, I get excited about thinking about going on another trip and doing something or going somewhere. So, now, when you all are out this way or the right appropriate person gets invited, we have a nice way to take a shower now. Sure, there's improvements to make. You got to figure this is like camping year round, and it's pretty basic and rustic, but it's working. And between my dog and the new kittens, we're killing rodents like gangbusters. I am having to be careful when I step out the door that I check for bodies before I step out. That's how many they've been getting lately. So it's getting under control. And I'm making sure that the kittens are not held very much. One of them's real skittish, feisty. They don't have names yet. I'm not trying to name them yet. That's not even. Um, but the feisty one, I've only been able to pick her up once. But they know home is here. They know I can leave in the car and that they're safe when I come home. They know that I will bring them food and water. And so I think they're going to be fine to live here as the barn cats. So. Okay. Water mister from Walmart, 2-pack in the ironing department, about $8, saving you. Okay. I'll have to look. Do you mean like a squirt bottle kind of mister? Okay. Cool. I've always had to pump up 2 quart, half gallon, um, garden sprayer from Dollar General that's right about $5. That's what I use to put Simple Green on my vehicles with. But I know a lot of people that use those for their showers. Um, I just, it seems to take me a little more water to wash my hair. But I mean, I do have a lot of hair. And I was thinking about it the other day, how it was kind of in my way. And, I was trying to sleep one night, and here I am curling it up, trying to get it on the pillow just right so it wouldn't annoy me. And I was like, maybe I should cut it off again. No, I've cut my hair off enough times. I'm not doing it anymore. Now, I've thought about trimming the bottom of it, but what's the point? It's just hair. I'll get over it. Uh, Bighorn sheep. There you go. Is there a casino with a herd of elk that live there? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. There is a casino in Sholo. Yeah. Actually, oh, I've never done it, but there's a casino in Gallup too. I've never stayed overnight there, but I've stayed overnight at other casinos, which is a good deal. And yeah, the Honda uh, casino in Sholo is a good one. I've actually stayed. So I forgot which road it is that this is on, but it's not 260. I can't. Off the top of my head, I don't remember. But anyways, you're on the road going toward the forest, and you come to a light, and there's an RV park and a road, a street, a paved one. So I guess I call paved one street. And then the Hyundai um, casino. So Hyundai Casino, by the way, years ago, I went with Skipperdoodle there, and we're talking years. Um, I had the biggest plate of spaghetti with meatballs that was good. And they made the meatballs with only beef so I could have them. But wow, that was a plate of food for like, I don't know, $4 or something. It was like cheap. And we went dancing. We had fun. But anyway, so you can hang out at the casino, but across the street, just in front of the RV park, there's free parking. You can overnight there. Don't stay a week, but you can overnight there. You're so ready to roll. Me too. I want to go somewhere. So, so part of my me too. I want to go. So part of my stuff that I'm working with in a business sense is for January next year. I'm trying to set it up so that by January, all the stuff pops off as Simply Lesa is a business. I can now make money. Let's make a bunch of money every month for a while because I've had a really poor, tough life. So I'm trying to make that pop off so it can be easier. And I can see running down to Baja if the stuff in the world is, cool or whatever. Um, but I can see, going down for a while. I got some friends that are in San Felipe. Um, they've been wanting me to like show their mother how to hang in a vehicle. Um, I need to talk to them again too. But I've got some other overlander buddies that love to do the 4-wheel drive stuff. Um, uh-huh. I can't think of their names. CB Overland. With the they have two basset hounds they travel with in an older Jeep with no doors. And they full time when they're out, they full time. He was having a health issue, so they went back to wherever home was, and they did a couple of things. He's quite the mechanic. They did a couple of things to other vehicles, and then were able to sell them, I think, to fund the next part of their travel. So they're now starting to get ready to leave and come out this way. They are going to come here eventually. I'm hoping to one get a little help from them because still haven't figured out how to have some kind of roof rack and have it look right. Because basically, my white tracker has the mini me Jeep look, and I don't want to make it too, I want it to look cool. So, yeah, I'll probably be hanging and working with them a little bit, but oh, I hope so too, Mary. I would love to have you come see. Then you guys understand me better. I know when Jeremy came, he just kept saying, "It's so small. I thought it was bigger. It's so small." And I'm like, maybe y'all understand now how hard it is sometimes. I'm not a, I'm in a space that's no bigger than somebody's box truck. I mean, so you try being stuck inside for weeks. You're gonna be going, blah, 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 you know. This is not fun. Where was the fun? Yeah, I'd love to have you come by, Mary. I really would. I know, 2 years. Wow. Oh, going on 3. Wow. Not that you're counting. I'm so sorry, Beth. It's so hard to be stuck. You and I have talked about it. It is so hard when this is not who we are as people. Sometimes we just have to do what we have to do. So, well, guys, I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom. How's that for an ending? Do we have more questions? Let me hang on a few minutes and let you questions, ending comments, stuff like that. Be careful in the heat. I did get heat exhaustion 1 year. I was unaware how it affected people with autoimmune diseases and things. And I was really blessed in that moment to have a woman who was an EMT close by, and she noticed signs I didn't, and I got better, but I learned a lot. So let's be careful with yourself, be careful with other people, um, and don't forget to eat your salt. Don't listen to everything a doctor says. Don't forget to eat your salt because by eating some salt, I'm not saying go crazy, but by eating some salt, it helps retain the moisture from the things you eat and drink. And you're going to need that in your body to continue. Um, I think for me, being on an animal based diet, adding the fruit, and the non-sweet fruit vegetables, because technically this is a fruit. Look up a definition of a fruit. This is technically a fruit, but it's a non-sweet fruit. So you wouldn't recognize it from the way the average person talks about fruits and vegetables. You would say this was a vegetable. Well, technically it's a fruit. But so is a tomato, technically a fruit. Now I have to watch lectins. So because I'm aware that lectins affect me, I'm making sure that I'm peeling and seeding everything that I'm trying. And so far, so good. So, well, not the plantains. I'm not trying to pull the seeds out of a plantain, but plantains are delicious. So, um, I'm feeling like I've made good decisions. I was able to figure out a way to make my groceries super cheaper this last week, or this last time that I went shopping. And it has lasted me many more days, so I didn't have to drive to go to town as often as in the past. Both of those things can affect my budget pretty greatly. So I chose to buy, I think I bought 8 1-pound packs of ground turkey and ground turkey breakfast sausage. Both of those flavors I'm able to do with no problem. And the breath and the breath, I can't turn the camera around fast. That kitten was looking for Wendy and running flat out as fast as he could. I think they're both girls, but we don't know. Anyways, running for the tree closest to the cabin. That was so cute. I wish I could have turned that around faster. Anyway, so I bought the ground turkey and the ground turkey sausage. The flavor in the ground turkey breakfast sausage is rosemary, and it doesn't bother me. And then I bought beef hot links, which are just quick food, and I love them. And I'm not reacting, so I can have those again. But anyways, I've been able to maintain that since Tuesday last week. I have 3 more. And now you got to remember the animals are eating off of this meat as well. So I think I have 3 more pounds of the meat. So this has been quite a bit cheaper because the ground turkey is only like $3 a pound, a little less. And the ground beef is over $5 a pound. So a little cheaper. And so being able to manage the freezer fridge is helping. And the unboxing video that's coming has something to do with batteries. You didn't hear that from me. Right, Wendy? Wendy, the kitties are visiting with you at a safe place. They're very safe right now. All right. Gee, have a good one. I'm getting ready to get off of here too. Yeah, only focused on survival. That's, I've taken naps. I've done all kinds of things because it's just been stressful and trying to do stuff with all that heat. It's like things that are simple were frustrating as crap. It was like, I don't wanna, I can't do it, it's too much. And that's like, you know what? Put it away. It won't stay hot like this forever. Deep breath. I can't believe Alex is still cutting, still working on the driveway. I can hear him. But and I knew he was going to be doing this, and he can work by himself. It's not like I have to help, but I often help. But how it's so much cooler with the cloud cover today that he's able to be out there working. There you go. It's not a very still picture. But can you see those two little things out there? They're very tiny. They're all going to make good friends. Wendy really is trying to mother them a lot. She is. She's a good girl, but sometimes she's just so strong and she's killing mice. So I'm like, let's be careful. Her jaws are strong. So I don't want them to get hurt. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to let you all go. Um, I can't. Well, I could turn that around somehow, but whatever. For $3.99. Okay. Drink your water. Yeah, I do remember when it was cheap. When you could get a chuck roast for 99 cents a pound. Wow, am I old now, right? Well, you all have a good week. Oh, Miko, I just see you. I hope you're having a good week. Catherine asked me a question about your tires, but um I hope you guys figured that out. You can ask me in that group online. Don't be surprised if you see me changing the name of the Facebook group. I just noticed. I think the stuff's peeling off my fake pearl earrings. I may have to hunt for something that's a little shinier. All right, y'all have a good week. Wendy is establishing her place. I just am trying really hard to uh, manage Wendy's interaction with them right now because she's enough bigger. I wouldn't want something to get hurt. So Miko, yes, get a hold of me through the group if that's more comfortable for you. We can chit chat over there. All right, y'all have a good week. Pray for each other. Pray for these kitties. Everybody who's been in the heat. And I'll see you here, same bat time, same bat channel next week. Y'all. Ciao.